Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to what will hopefully be a more coherent video this week than last week's was. There is nothing worse, oh fuck. Good morning everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to what will hopefully be a more coherent video than last week's was. There is nothing worse for me than lack of sleep. And due to the heat and the humidity, last Saturday night I managed to grab about 2-3 hours, if that, and it absolutely showed on the video I attempted to record last week. I know you guys have said already that there was nothing wrong with it, but believe me, there most certainly was. It just did not feel right. I was not feeling anything at all last week. It was almost as if I was basically just reading notes and there was no feeling behind it at all, because I was just so knackered. But I've managed to grab a decent amount of sleep last night, so hopefully this will all make a lot more sense than it did last week. So I'll start with a couple of shout outs. A big one to start with: Callie and Guy from Calico Productions, Hunya Geek is showing. They asked me a few weeks ago if I'd mind appearing on a future episode. I said yes, as long as I could do it when Rob was at work and I got the place to myself, so I could basically be myself. I mean, you know my views on this. I can't record when there is anybody within earshot. That's just how I am, and a lot of you have said the same thing. So you get where I'm coming from with this. But they kindly built an episode around me. I can't tell you what the subject was, because I think they like to keep that secret until it's actually gone live. But thank you so much to both of you for asking me on, and for basically doing it around my peculiarities. I really appreciate it. It was such a laugh. I had a blast. It was a total hoot. We had such a laugh all the way through it. It was absolutely brilliant. A great experience. It's been a while since I've done anything like that. In fact, the last time was, I can't even remember what the subject was. It was on Higgis. I've never done any others, because I don't usually feel comfortable doing that kind of thing sort of live, and I've always shied away from doing this as a live thing. It's been suggested quite a few times to do something live at Christmas, which, you know, one day I may just decide to sort of bite the bullet and give it a go. But it went so much better than I thought it would yesterday. The only technical hitch I think we had was the fact that I'd installed the wrong Zoom app. So when I tried to follow the link that Callie sent me to join the meeting or the conversation, it wouldn't work. So I had to disappear for a few minutes, install the correct Zoom, and then come back on. And after that, it all went fine. I had to wear headphones. These things, I can't stand wearing these. I don't mind wearing them if I'm listening to something when I'm on my own, but the thought of putting them on while I'm actually doing this, it just didn't seem right to me. But as it happened, it worked out quite right, and it was all to do with echo on the mic. Apparently, when you're not wearing them, the mic picks up some kind of an echo which comes across on the other side. So I had to wear them, but I kind of got used to them. But apart from that, I had such a good time. So thanks ever so much, Callie and Guy. I'm really looking forward to the next time that you ask me. Hopefully we can do it the same way again, and I can just let go. So yeah, brilliant time, guys. Had a brilliant time. So looking forward to the next one, and that should be going live, I would imagine, within the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it'll be posted on the group, as it always is, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how it came out. I've got a feeling there's going to be a couple of cringe moments in there regarding me, but we shall see. So once again, thanks ever so much, Callie and Guy. I had a brilliant time. Can't wait for the next one. Next shout out, hi to Scott. Morning, Scott. Loving these movies that you're watching at the moment, and it's so good to have you back. The three that you've watched recently, Clute, which is one of my favourite Jane Fonda movies, absolutely amazing, co-starring Donald Sutherland, if I remember correctly. Superb movie. You've actually made me want to watch that again. I haven't seen it for years. I remember watching it one Christmas many years ago when I still lived at home. That shows how long ago. And loved it. And I don't think I've seen it since, but really enjoyed it. What was it? Death Trap. Christopher Reeve and Michael Caine, and not forgetting the wonderful, the beautiful Diane Cannon, who supported them absolutely brilliantly. But if you like a good Agatha Christie style sort of mystery kind of thing with a maximum of 4 characters, that's all that's in it. I think it's 4. It's just superb, absolutely brilliant, and you definitely enjoyed it. And the final one, I think you watched, was it yesterday or Friday? Was Play Misty for Me, Clint Eastwood. What a movie! Can you not just see where Fatal Attraction got their inspiration from? I mean, it was just so much like it. But Play Misty for Me, to me, did it so much better. And the woman that played Evelyn, I can't remember her name, was just, as you say, absolutely terrifying. It's just every guy's worst nightmare, and it is. But if you've never seen Play Misty for Me, I would highly recommend it. It also featured, if I remember right, a lovely musical interlude in the middle of it, which was a song that charted in the early 70s. Now, what was it called? Was it Gladys Knight? First Time I Ever Saw Your Face, if I remember right. I remember the song, but I didn't realise it was part of the soundtrack of that movie until the first time I watched it. And it fitted perfectly. So, yeah, great reviews, mate. I'm looking forward to seeing what other classics you're going to be taking a look at. Hopefully there'll be ones that I've seen. So, yeah, look forward to that. I've got so much. Just bear with me. Oh, my notes have stuck. Bugger. Hang on. Oh, there we go. I've got so much video-wise to catch up on, guys. If I fail to mention certain people or certain videos, please forgive me. I've got so much to catch up on. I've not mentioned our Criterion guy, Steve Matt, for a couple of weeks. I've got so many of his videos to catch up on. There's a couple in there that I saw on the group that I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to take a look at that. There's also, who else? I'm not... Stuart, I need to catch up on quite a few of yours. Sam from Sammy's World of Cinema, need to catch up on some of yours, mate. And also Jason K, our Ginger Ninja, need to catch up with his Hellraiser reviews and also his Trashy Tuesdays, that's right. So, yeah, as I say, forgive me if there's certain people that I don't mention this week. It's been kind of a busy week and I've not really had much chance to catch up on, but I will be catching up on and sort of talking about them. Let me see now. Quick mention for Rob Gear, colleague of mine. The one who still thinks I look like a hairless cat and now thinks I look like Captain Underpants. I don't quite know where that one comes from, but they think that. You did a review of Deadpool and Wolverine on the group. Cracking review, mate. Really enjoyed it. You obviously enjoyed the film. I've yet to see it, but first off, I've got to take in Deadpool 1 and 2. I've seen the first one. We all know what I thought of that. So obviously I never bothered to take in the second one. But I will be doing so, and eventually I will catch up with Deadpool versus Wolverine. But a nice little review, mate. And Rick, the old AF reviewers are back with a vengeance. What a barnstormer of an episode the first one was. Oh my God. Just in case you're not familiar with them, these two guys take on the most revolting challenges you could possibly imagine. And this week, let me get this right, they take on the Surströmming, oh, hang on, I'll pronounce this right, the Surströmming Fermented Fish Challenge. It's basically a small can of tinned fish that you think is going to look like tuna until they open it up and they bring a huge dollop of it out, and it looks like the biggest, wettest bogey ever. And the smell of it, I could almost smell it through the... I basically watched about half of it. I couldn't stomach anymore. It was actually making me heave and making me feel nauseous just watching it. So I'm gathering that is the effect it's supposed to have. How you guys ever did that, I don't know. I just don't know. Jason K, our Ginger Ninja, you said, welcome back. Old AF cobbers. Each time Ricky went to take a bite, you could see him dying on the inside, as we all were. Just watching it, it's possibly one of the most horrible things I've ever seen. Um, I don't, I can't even begin to imagine what you're going to follow that one up with. I can't think of anything more revolting than that, but I'm sure you will. But it's great to have you back, guys. Let's see. Right, I'll start with some comments. First off, I'll read out the second part of Callie's. She didn't get a chance to sort of comment before I recorded last week's video, so she dropped it on after I'd actually finished recording. So I'll start with that one. Just getting round to watching the second half of this week's episode. Thanks for the Higgis love as always, hon. You're more than welcome, Callie. If you can brave the attic to retrieve the Star Wars comics, I'd love to see them. I don't know whether I can brave it. I could possibly get Rob to go up and find them. I don't know. Normally, when he goes up there, he normally tells me, and I will go up the ladder and I'll sort of stick my head over the parapet and just have a look. And if I can't see anything spider-wise, I will normally brave it and go up there. So leave that with me. I'll see what I can do with that. Tank Girl is one of my favourite films, despite it bombing when it came out. Definitely a cult classic. I'm absolutely up for watching that. It's one obviously that I've never seen. It just sounds intriguing, so I will be taking a look at that. Talk of the Devil. You know what? You maybe want to do some digging and see if there is a copy of it out there somewhere. Good luck with that one, Callie, because I couldn't find one. I tried everywhere. I've tried all the download sites. I've tried YouTube. I've tried streaming. I have tried everything. DVD, Region 1 DVD, nothing at all out there. So if you do, let me know. I'd be very curious about that one. A book on Pinewood Studios sounds like a good read. While doing research for the episode, I found the history of the site just as interesting as the list of films made there. I will be getting that, definitely. I've earmarked about 3 or 4 different books on Amazon that look brilliant. There's a very good chance I'll probably buy all of them, as I usually do. If I can't make my mind up between sort of 3 or 4 books, I'll normally get them all. So that's probably what's going to happen, so I'll keep you posted on that. You are more than welcome, Hun, when it comes to showing love and mentions. Thanks, appreciate that. Well, time for me to start adulting again. Great episode and look forward to the next one. As I say, I'm hoping this goes better than last week's. I can feel a stammer coming on now, but I'm going to take my time and see if I can get rid of it. Here we go. I'll start with Jason K. Ginger Ninja. Morning, Jay. Speaking of Snowtown, drove through there last weekend. Nice little town, nice people, but the story behind it is terrible and shocking. The bank is now a second-hand thrift shop, and I may have purchased some second-hand DVDs from there. And they also have an authentic Terminator 2 skull bust, $1,200. Bloody hell. That's an amount of money, but imagine how nice that would look next to your Talk to Me hand. So I've not watched Snowtown yet, as you know. I'm kind of shying away from that one because it sounds actually really horrifying. But I'll see how I go. Be careful of waiting for those umbrella editions to go to eBay. I've made that error and regretted it, but I get what you mean with shipping. Maybe we need to organise a group in the UK and Australia for umbrella and arrow packages. Maybe, yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea. It's just a shame that we haven't got a branch of umbrella in the UK, because I would be ordering tons, I'll tell you now. And it works the other way for you. If you've got a branch of arrow in Australia, you'd be doing the same, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. The Talk to Me hand is now in the living room with all my movies, but it required a bit of negotiating. The Alien quadrilogy, Glow Up Egg, had to be relegated to the office. Oh dear. That was a cracking piece of kit, that was. I was well impressed with that. If you found the In-Betweeners too sweary, watch Deadpool and Wolverine. It's like pure poetry. Really? I wouldn't find it too sweary. It's just something about this kind of thing winds me up. And it's to do with PC-ness. I know what that sounded like and it wasn't meant to. You know what I mean. Political correctness is what I'm trying to say. It's just the fact that the woke brigade, they are so horrified when something like a Carry On film comes on with all the innuendo and all of that kind of thing, and yet they are perfectly happy to watch something like Sex Education or something as violent as The Boys. You know, the Generation Z, they love that. They absolutely love all of that, but they object to a few innuendos in a Carry On film. It's like, fuck off, grow up. And that's my problem with the In-Betweeners. It's just the fact that, you know, that particular generation are perfectly okay with that kind of sort of sweary, sexually explicit material, but they object to Carry On films. Seriously? You haven't seen The Omega Man or Soylent Green. Honestly, two of my favourites and absolute classics. I need to catch up with both of them, and I will be doing reviews of those when I've actually caught up with them. Looking forward to your thoughts on A Quiet Day. Was it Quiet Place Day 1 and The Strangers Chapter 1? The only Quiet Place I've seen is the first one, and Strangers Chapter 1 I watched the other week. I loved it. I really, really enjoyed it. It's got a lot of sort of negative reviews, and I can't understand why. I found it sort of perfectly acceptable. It was a decent horror film, decent thriller, well acted. Yeah, I didn't see any problem with it, but I'll be curious to see what you make of it. And what the hell is Sergeant Kabuki Man? It's what I think it's part of your Trashy Tuesday. I need to take a look at that one. But I saw it and I thought, I can genuinely say, hand on heart, I have never ever heard of Sergeant Kabuki Man. So looking forward to finding out what that one's all about when I catch up with your videos, mate. Thanks ever so much, Jay. Much appreciated, mate. Always brilliant to hear from you. Stuart, don't watch many modern movies because they bore me, to be honest. And they also have too much woke PC shit in them, which is exactly what I was just saying. But tonight, me and the wife are watching Abigail. It's a vampire movie, which has good reviews. I'll let you know next week my take on it. Good video, mate. Omega Man and Charlton Heston is fantastic. Definitely going to be taking a look at that one. And I've got a little update here. This comment dropped about half an hour ago. Watched Abigail. Wow, absolutely loved it, mate. Horror vampire movie with a touch of comedy. Wife enjoyed it as well, so that's good. She's hard to please, aren't they all? So, yeah, thanks for that, Stu. Right, let's see. Jason P. Well, I've gone for a longer one a bit early on this week. Here we go. Jason. Morning, Jay. Tony, mate, there was bugger all up with that video. A tired Tony is better than no Tony. Oh, God, you must be the only person that thinks that. I appreciate it, though, Jay. I do appreciate it. Every time you mention the cheese grater, my stomach turns. I've caught my fingers a few times in the grater where the block of cheese breaks in half and your fingers get grated to it. Fucking hurts. It bloody does. Absolutely, it does. Yeah, we're talking about Evil Dead Rise, which I still haven't seen. Not because I haven't had time, but because I haven't got the balls to put it on yet. I've got to kind of get used to skipping over these scenes that I don't like, because I'm sure I'm missing out on some brilliant movies because of certain scenes. I need to be able to just, as soon as I see it coming, just skip through it and move on to the next bit. So Evil Dead Rise is on the list, and I will get round to watching that. When you talk about being organised, we are all different. I've got a bit of OCD, I think. I will not settle on the sofa until all the housework is done and tea is prepped. I have to have everything in order too. I have lists of things to do and buy. Even when I worked, I had set times for doing all the things I had to do, even more on a night shift. Everything had a time slot until midnight, then the next 6 hours was doing just whatever. I am the same when I get in from work. It is fatal for me to sit down before I have done everything that I need to do, i.e. getting my lunch ready for the following day, putting it in the lunchbox, putting it in the fridge, getting my drinks ready for the following day, preparing the breakfast for the following morning, which is porridge. So I'll put the oats in a bowl, put a cloth over it, put the coffee in the mug, get my meds in the little jar that I keep them in, that I take first thing in the morning. Everything like that, and everything that I've got to do on the computer has to be done before I actually sit down, because if I do, none of it will get done. So I totally get that. I've got a set routine, and you can pretty much time it by the minute. And it's the same in the morning. Um, you could set your watch by me and at work. For the first, I would say, 3 4 hours, everything you could literally set your watch by me. You would know where in the building I am at a certain time. So yeah, being organised, you can't beat it. It just makes your day go so much faster. Otherwise, I would be as scatterbrained as I am when I'm on here. Um, I'm sort of all over the place here, there, all over the place. It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't. Um, let's see. P.S. It wasn't Argus. We were talking about where you used to work. I worked for a contract security company called Mighty, and they were a shit company to work for. When they got the contract 2 years before I left, some people told me they were awful, and they were. Argus and Sainsbury's were all good, just the security company I worked for. I was just a number. Well, let's put it this way: they certainly knew my name in the last 3 weeks I was there when my notice went in. The F&C bomb was dropped a bit on a few phone calls. I bet it was. I could imagine. Um, Jaws 4, not seen it for about 30 years. Never seen it. So there's one for my never seen thread when I start it. I'm really looking forward to watching it. It doesn't look that bad. It really doesn't. But it has got the most awful reviews right the way from when it came out up till now. But it's not going to put me off. I'm still going to grab the 4K and I'm still going to take a look at it. Star Wars. Not impressed, are you? Set in space, fighting with lightsabers and robot things, and yeah, sci-fi too. Definitely not a win-win then. Now, I don't mind sci-fi or robots, Terminator, or space movies, Moonraker, but I refuse to watch Star Wars. Seen the trailer, and that was enough. So it is pretty much just Star Wars then. I think sci-fi you're perfectly happy with. It's just the Star Wars franchise. It's not for everybody. It really isn't. Like Star Trek. I grew up with the series Star Trek, but I could not for the life of me get into Star Trek The Next Generation, and I've tried a couple of times, and I know I need to give it another go. If I'm going to go through the whole Star Trek universe, I've got to go through Star Trek The Next Generation at some point, but I'm in no real hurry to do it, so I do get that. So I'm not going to try and get you to watch Star Wars, not even on your never seen thread, because it absolutely will not work, will it? Right, the rest of this comment is not movie related, so if you're not interested, move on. I say the same thing. Let's see. Tone, when you say the diet talk is not movie related, it doesn't matter. This group is about movies, but it's also about the banter and seriousness of some of the comments between us that comment and chat to each other. So if they aren't interested, fuck them. Yeah, bollocks to him, sod 'em. This group would survive with about 20 members off the top of my head that contributed in the past. We all have our little jokes and banter between us. We do, and that's what makes the group such a special thing, because I don't know, as I've said before, of any other group, not that I've seen, that do what we do. I just think it's brilliant. When I sort of formed this thing, God knows how many years ago, I had no idea it would turn into what it has done. And I love it, absolutely love it, so proud of it, and you guys for making it what it is. So diet, do what you feel is right for you. Cutting down is a start. You don't look 16 stone, so what the fuck are you hiding behind that computer desk? Nothing. Honestly, it is. It's horrible. I'm fat. It's that simple. Pick a date to start the diet. I always went for the first of a month, OCD again, and then gradually change weigh-in days. My weigh-in day is a Monday. It stops me cheating on a weekend, knowing my weigh-in day is a Monday. Take a photo of your scales reading. Have your feet on there too for the full effect. I've weighed myself and took a photo every week since September 2020, except for December last year when I said fuck it and put the scales away. That's where it all went wrong and I put a stone on. So do it how you want to do it for a few months. If nothing is working, cut something else out. I actually drink about 2 litres of water a day. Same here, I'm drinking water all day, I'm like a bloody camel. I have the occasional can of lemon zero sugar from Aldi. Probably have 3 or 4 a week, and that's it. I think your pastries and fried sides with the pizza is the most damaging, mate. But good luck with it. it's not the only thing that lets it down. I'm going to start keeping a food diary, and I'm going to find some way of doing it online as I can share it on the My Life Goals at 60 group. So you'll be able to see exactly where I'm going wrong. The daft thing is I probably don't need to keep a food diary, because when I look at what I eat, I pretty much know exactly what I'm doing wrong. It's just cutting them out. It's never as easy as it sounds, but you seem to have managed it. So pick a start date, pick a weekly weigh-in day, take a pic of your scales, and that way you can see any improvement. Have you got digital scales, or have you still got dial ones from the 70s? As featured in Tone's Attic Stories. Get some digital ones, they're only about 15 quid. I've actually got some. They're not the most reliable, but they get it about right. So yeah, I am on digital with that. Great video, mate. So stop whittling. Look forward to a 2-hour epic next week in your dreams. I might be able to make 90 minutes. I will do my best, but the trick is to make these an hour or just slightly less. If I can, kind of do it. But if it runs over, it runs over. But thanks for all the advice on the diet, Jade. I will keep you posted on how it goes. I need to set a start date, as you say. I'm probably going to go for August 1st, but it's going to be tiny changes. It's not going to be a complete overhaul of everything that I eat, because every time I've tried that, and every time I call it a diet, it fucks up. It goes wrong. I just think of it as little lifestyle changes, which will benefit me in the long run. And it'll just mean, cutting the amount of porridge down a little bit that I have in the morning. The chocolate bar that I have with my lunch at about 10 o'clock, just have half of it. Like if it's a Kit Kat, have 2 fingers instead of the 4. That kind of thing. I'm reliably informed that little small changes like that will make all the difference. So I'm probably going to go down that route. As for pop, I love Pepsi Max. I do. I probably have 2, maybe 3 glasses a night. One with my tea, one a little bit after, and I take one up to bed. I could cut that down definitely, but with it being Pepsi Max, it's sugar free, so it shouldn't be doing too much damage, hopefully. But I've taken on board everything that you've said. I am going to work on it, and I will be taking you all on this little journey that will either work or it won't. I'm going to revive the My Life Goals at 60 group, which I haven't put anything on for months. So I need to get that going again, so I can share with you all how this is all going or not going. So right, I'm coming up to 28 minutes. I'll take my first break. I've got some more to get through, and I'll be back with you in a couple of seconds. And we're back. Right, sticking with Jay. You're never seen it this week. Week 30 of 50. Good Morning Vietnam. I had no idea you'd not seen that one. Watched about 20 minutes of this when it was first released on video in 1989. Didn't like it, so turned it off. So for the first time in 35 years, I gave it another go. Yep, enjoyed it and would watch it again. I thought you'd already seen it. That's one that I did think you'd seen, and I would have assumed naturally that you did enjoy it. So I'm glad you've caught up with it and that you did enjoy it. You put this is an example of when America had their releases way before us. Yeah, I mean, when you're going back 35 years, I think American 4-3-2-1. American movies were released sort of 6 months, possibly a year before they hit UK shores. It's a 1987 movie released in American cinemas in January 88. UK cinemas showed it in September 88, released on VHS about the middle of 1989. In 1965, an unorthodox and irreverent DJ named Adrian Cronard begins to shake up things when he is assigned to the US Armed Services radio station in Vietnam. I loved it, absolutely adored it. Like you, I haven't seen it for a long time, probably about 20 years, but I'm due to watch it again. Saw a clip on YouTube a couple of days ago, funnily enough, and thought, yeah, I really need to watch that again. Mark, you said great movie, even better soundtrack. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. I think I've got the soundtrack on Spotify, and I do listen to it occasionally. So yeah, cracking movie. You also put a post on about a movie called The Sound of Freedom. Um, that, let's see, what have you put here? You were looking at Blu-rays on offer. There's actually hundreds on there, only £2 or £3 off. But if you've been waiting for something to come down in price, then take a look. I've been waiting for this to come under a tenner on Blu-ray for ages. This is my film of the year so far. Wow. Now, I'd heard of it, but I've not seen it, and I know very little about it, but I've grabbed a copy purely on that recommendation. So when I've watched it, I'll let you know what I think. But if you're saying it's your film of the year so far, or one of your films of the year so far, that makes me want to see that even more. So I'll be taking that in very, very shortly. Let's see. Mark, morning, Mark. So glad you decided to make a video. It was good enough to keep me entertained for an hour, so stop whittling. Appreciate that, Mark. It did not go very well. I don't think today's is going particularly well, and I am putting that down to the fact that I put all the notes together pretty much this morning before I did this. The weekends I find when it goes absolutely faultlessly is when I've worked on the notes all week for about, 20 minutes a day, and then on Saturday basically put the finishing touches on it so that I can get up and just sit in front of the camera straight away and just start talking. I find it works better when I do it that way, but I've been a little bit lazy and a little bit unmotivated again this week. I sort of put it all together, mostly together yesterday, and it never seems to work for me that way. I don't know whether it's a psychological thing or what, but I don't think it's going as well as I certainly hoped it would. But I'm certainly not starting it again. You put, I did own Tank Girl on VHS. Can't remember too much about it, but it must have been okay as I bought it. Definitely looking forward to taking a look at it. It looks like my kind of film. It looks kind of like a female version of Mad Max, that kind of thing. But I'm only guessing because I know nothing about it. But it's definitely one of Callie's favourites, that's for sure. Off topic again. I am also 16 stone and need to lose my man tits. But it's hard when 75% of my diet is made up of beer and kebabs. Diet is only a part of it, Mark. There's exercise in there. There's all sorts of stuff in there. The exercise thing I've got to start again. I've been told that walking is just as effective as running, so I'm probably going to abandon the running. Not that it ever got very far to start with, and just start going on my regular walks again. I used to go every day, pretty much straight from work. I'd just come in through the door, fuss the dog for a couple of minutes, throw everything on the desk, and then just go out for a walk for 30 minutes on a set route that I had every day. Stick a podcast on, well away. But it sort of fell by the wayside probably 3-4 weeks ago, and I need to do that again. I need to start that again. And as for overhauling the diet, like I said earlier, addressing Jason's comments, the only way I'm ever going to be able to do it, I think, is by cutting down little bit by little bit, just sort of small changes, rather than overhauling the whole damn thing, which every time I've tried that, it just fails dramatically because it feels like too much of a wrench, too much of a commitment, if you like. So yeah, it is going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. But will I ever stop eating pizzas on a Saturday? I don't think so, because I enjoy them, and it's a treat at the end of the week. It means that neither of us has to cook, wash up, or anything like that. It just turns up on the doorstep, you eat it, and you chuck the cardboard into the cardboard recycling, all done. So yeah, it's our one day of completely relaxing and not having to do nothing, basically. So am I going to give them up? Probably not. Am I going to give chocolate up? No, but I can cut it down. So yeah, I totally get where you're coming from, mate. Let's see. Jay put a picture of Tank Girl on a pile of poop. In other words, he's not impressed with Tank Girl. Mark, you say, like I say, mate, I did own it, but it was 20 plus years since I've seen it, so my opinion may very well change now. Jason, you said, I think you should do a never seen for next year, mate. You're the perfect candidate, especially as you wouldn't have seen many films from the 70s and 80s. You could easily do 50 from these 2 decades. Look at the films that were released around this time and that you've seen mentioned a few times on here but never seen. You have to watch the full film though. You may surprise yourself. I know I bloody have. Mark, you said, yep, I can definitely do that. And Jason said, can't wait, mate. You may be able to do 100. Mark, you kind of disagreed. I don't know, 70s, 80s, if it looks shit, I just can't watch it. And Jason, you said, in my never seen thread, I've turned about 30 movies off. Nope, knew they'd be shit. Oh dear. I didn't realise that. I thought you'd watch them all. So I would love to see you do that, Mark. Absolutely. I'm definitely, absolutely 100% going to do a never seen thread. I was looking on BBC iPlayer and ITVX last night, and there is a shitload on there of stuff that has been around for years and I've never got round to watching, pretty much the way Jason does it. So I mean, if we're all at it, maybe Jason will carry it on. Possible? So I look forward to you kicking that one off. Definitely, Mark. Thanks for that, mate. Much appreciated. Always brilliant to hear from you. There was also a post went on. Jason Kerr, our Ginger Ninja, did a 60-second review of a movie called Geostorm. And I saw JK's 60-second review of this earlier. Sounds amazing. Ordered a copy from Amazon for £1.69. Can't go wrong for that price. Anyone else seen this? Any good? Oh yeah. Mark, yes, not bad, but not great either. Jason, here we go. Yes, it's shite. Mark, yeah, all right. I was trying to be subtle and let him down gently, but yeah, it's shit, really. Don't spare my feelings. Just tell me how it is, as you always do. I mean, it makes absolutely no difference because I did grab a copy of it and I've not watched it yet, as per usual. But I will be taking a look at it. I get the feeling I'm going to think this is okay. Probably nothing special. Probably one that I won't sort of watch again. More than likely one for the charity shop, but we shall see. I'll make that a bin it or keep it 1 week. All those other little features are coming back over the next few weeks, by the way. Bin it or keep it. TV shows that I grew up with. The double bill. I just need to get everything on here properly planned and properly in order. So just bear with me for a couple of weeks while I get my head back in the right space with this. Let's see. By the way, Mark, loved your post about Bond. Oh my God. I nearly spat my coffee out listening to that one or reading that one. I think the next James Bond should be a woman. Just think how great it would be. Great cars, big accidents and massive explosions and all that while she's just parking the car. Sexist as fuck, but I absolutely love that. I'm going to be showing that off at work, definitely, because I think that's brilliant. Oh God. So thanks for that, Mark. Good to hear from you, mate. I put a post on earlier in the week showing off a little figure. I'm not normally a fan of sort of toys, figures and stuff like that, but I'd never seen this before. I was really wish that I'd grabbed one. It was an authentic bendable Close Encounters extraterrestrial figure. It looked a bit like Stretch Armstrong. Do you remember that from the 70s? And I wish I had one of these, be worth a bit now. My God, you all jumped on that one. Here we go. Jason P. You probably have, mate, in that attic of yours, but just don't realise. An idea for a new video. Go up in your attic and just film yourself finding stuff. We can also watch you squirm as you look out for spiders. You bloody well will not. As I say, if Rob goes up there, I'll maybe follow him up, but I will have to be absolutely 100% sure that there's going to be nothing crawling about up there. And I won't go up on my own because I'm always frightened coming through the roof with a misstep. It would happen, I guarantee you it would happen. Why don't you just get Rob to go up and pass everything down to you and then have a good sort through what you've got? Sounds simple, doesn't it? Guy, you said, what's in Tony's attic? New feature, we can all take guesses. I think you'd enjoy that, actually. Jason P. A brand new first ever edition microwave, never been opened, shortly to be joined by an air fryer. No, it bloody well is this bleeding air fryer, which is still behind me, and I will get round to unboxing it and doing something in it. Guy, you said, I was going to go for a fondue set and 70s smut. Really? Jason, you said Rob passing Tony his stuff would be like watching the Generation Game in the 70s. Fondue set, Tupperware, dishes, Buckaroo game. There is a Buckaroo game up there. Cuddly toy. Imagine the vinyl. The rarer they are, the more money they are worth. I bet there's a few that no sod's heard of. Don't forget the trouser press. Guy, you said 78s and wax cylinders. I heard Glenn Miller is trapped up there. You cheeky pair of bastards. You're right though. There is all sorts up there. There is. Every time I've been up there, I've found something and thought, my God, I didn't know I got this. I've even ordered things off Amazon that I thought I hadn't got. And then you go up the attic a couple of years later and you find the original copy that you bought like 30, 40 years ago. So yeah, the attic thing is actually a good idea. I would like to do it. But it's just when Rob's got the time to go up there, and he normally takes like old paperwork up there and stores that up there. So I'll ask him when he does that next to let me know, and I'll give it a go. So another post that went up this week. I need to watch a movie called Thelma. You guys watched it. Basically, it's about a 93-year-old woman in, I think it's Los Angeles, who is scammed by someone claiming to be her nephew, asking for money. She parts with the money and then suddenly realises she's been conned and sets off across the city on a mobility scooter with Richard Roundtree, who played Shaft, and also Malcolm McDowell is in this, in tow, to try and get her money back. Now, to me, this sounds like a brilliant movie. I've seen a couple of reviews that say it's an absolutely charming comedy. I get the feeling that's what I'm going to say when I've seen it. Did you guys like it? Oh no. Mark, never heard of it, looks shit. Jason P, it's just come out, oh my God, and it's on the stick. I've watched it all. Not sure why, but I have to say it's one of the worst fucking films I've watched in my life. Really? Malcolm McDowell is in it for 5 minutes. Not sure why he signed up for this shite. Utterly fucking atrocious, poorly acted, most awful fucking film ever. Absolute dog shit of a movie, and if anybody actually went to the cinema to see this movie, they need help. Did I say this movie is shit? You did, in passing. You really weren't impressed with this, was you? Mark, you said, so even after reading this absolutely glorious review, Tony Harris is still going to watch it and most probably name it as Movie of the Year. Very good possibility. You know me far too well. Jason, you said it will want to watch it even more now. Too right. Mark said he's probably got it on Amazon pre-order. I haven't, as it goes. Jason said, surprise, surprise. All right, Scylla, chill your beans. Oh God, I do want to watch it. I very much want to watch it. I read about this in a copy of Empire probably about 3-4 months ago and thought, that sounds intriguing. I'm looking forward to that. So obviously when it turned up on the stick, I thought, yep, I'll have a go at that. And then these reviews come in. So I will be taking a look at it as soon as I can. And I'll tell you what I think. But I think you pretty much know what I'm going to think of this. I don't think I'm going to think it's a bad film. Certainly not the way that you guys do. That is for sure. So I will be taking a look at it. Bear with me just long enough for me to do that. But yeah, I get the feeling I know what I'm going to think of that one. Let's see. Thanks to everybody that's suggested Australian movies, by the way, for me to watch. I've got quite a watch list going on those. Let's see. Jason, you suggested Wolf Creek. I saw that many years ago. Very, very unpleasant film, as I remember. Romper Stomper. This is another one that I'm shying away from slightly. It's Russell Crowe's debut movie, if I remember right. And apparently it's a really rough watch. Muriel's Wedding. Seen it a couple of times. Absolutely adore it. Brilliant soundtrack. It's just pure ABBA. Superb. Dead Calm. Saw it a long time ago. This is Sam Neill and Billy Zane. I can't remember the name of the female lead in it. It's all set on a yacht, isn't it, if I remember right? It's one that I wouldn't mind watching again because I can't remember anything about it apart from that. But I didn't realise it was an Australian film either. And one called Bad Boy Bubby, which I've never heard of. I need to have a look at that. It does sound interesting. If I remember right, it's to do with a guy that's been locked in a room by his mother for 30 plus years, and he escapes and tries to live some sort of a life as he gets out. Whatever. I do need to take a look at that one because I've never heard of it, and I'll be going into it pretty blind because the description doesn't actually give too much away. So I will be taking a lot. Mark, you suggest. God, this stammer's getting worse. This is really starting to worry me now. Mark said, "I guess Lightning Jack is an Australian movie. Love that film. Is this the one with Kirk Douglas and Arnold Schwarzenegger? Am I thinking of the right one? Or am I thinking of something else? You'll have to let me know on that. I've got this image in my head of Kirk Douglas, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Kirk Douglas as a cowboy all dressed in black, and the whole thing looks like a Roadrunner cartoon. Am I thinking of something else? I need to go on the internet and have a look at that. Let's see what else I've got here, because I'm going to wind this up again because this is not going as well as I thought it would. Dave Taylor, I've got some comments on here from last week. I'm going to put them off till next week, mate. I'm going to need to wrap this up pretty quick, I think. A few things that I've bought, and then I'm going to knock it on the head, I think. First thing, one of my colleagues at work has got one of these, and I fell in love with it. I listen to podcasts while I'm cleaning, and sometimes when there's nobody about, I'll tap the headphones out and just listen to them on the phone, which is really tinny. And she got one of these. JBL. It's an external speaker, a Bluetooth external speaker, which hooks on to your high vis or your belt buckle. And the sound that comes out of it is absolutely phenomenal for such a tiny little speaker. She listens to music on it. It sounds amazing. So I thought, I'm going to have one of those. That was 37 quid. So I'm going to try that out tomorrow. I've got a few, let's see, Blu-rays, and some magazines here. Oops. I'll start with the magazines. Let's see, I've got the latest issue of Infinity, which came through the other day, and there you've got articles about the Alien movies, the Three Stooges, Doctor Who, In Search of the Castaways, which I believe is a Disney movie, Force of the Trojans, Harryhausen's Lost Epic, that'll be interesting, Dalek Damsel, Jill Curzon interview, never heard of her. That's that. A book. You know of my love for Super 8 cinema. I'm going to do a flick through of this at some point, but I finally got this through, and the bits that I've seen of it, I've had a good flick through this book, and everything is just pure nostalgia for me. I had loads of these. I didn't realise how many of these I actually had, and there are many more that I recognised that I remember being on the shelf in, let's see, where they used Dixon's, I think I used to get my Super 8 from, and also a place just round the corner called Camera Thorpe, which I'm fairly sure is not there anymore. They used to sell Super 8 movies, but if I'll try and find one that I can show you. That one's just for you, Jay Starless. Let's see, is there anything here that we'll recognise? See, again, I should have prepared this earlier. I should have had bookmarks on it, but if I just show you, that's the kind of thing. Just basically showing you the sleeves of these. Well, they weren't sleeves, they were plastic cases of some of these amazing films. I'll do a proper flick through of that because that's a cracking book. Latest episode of The Dark Side. Let's see, you've got articles on mummy movies. Let's see, Monsters in the Mist, Beware the Crawling Eye. I was watching that the other night. Shocking Joe, Attack of the Killer D'Amato. I've no idea what that's about, but that's the latest issue of The Dark Side. Latest issue of Doctor Who magazine. Let's see, you got articles on William Russell, who was one of the original companions, and Sutekh, which they've redone, I believe, the Pyramids of Mars, which I'm going to be reading about. Look forward to that. latest issue of Total Film. There's Alien Romulus on the front. Can't wait to read that. This, I've been after one of these for decades. Years and years ago, up until probably 1982, 1983, the family and me, or my dad used to take us to Pontins in Prestatyn every single year. To us, it was paradise. It was just the most amazing place. I loved it. I loved the camp. I loved Prestatyn village, the town centre, which was on the steepest hill ever. It had a cinema called the Scala, which I used to go to at least twice during the week, depending on what they were showing. And I've been looking for a long, long time, an old programme, as in book programme, of what used to go on at this camp. And I found one. This isn't for Prestatyn. This is for another camp, but it basically has the same things on it. You've got, oh blimey, got a little leaflet in there as well. It's got like everything, all the things that they had planned. 10 o'clock darts competition. There's also a bowls competition, knobbly knees competition, get fit, keep fit class, bingo. Bingo was massive back then. Dominoes competition, the sheer excitement of it. Miss Pontins, you wouldn't get very far with that now. Cabaret. As I say, to us this was just beautiful, and I've been after one of these for years, just to bring the memories flooding back of what we used to do during that week. The Donkey Derby, that was another one. That cost me 12 quid, but do you know what? It was worth every penny, because I thoroughly enjoyed reading through it. Now, Blu-rays. I'll start with this one. Thanks to you, Callie. This one, you were talking about this one last week on your podcast on Higgis. And I've also been talking to a colleague at work about it, and she absolutely loves this. So I thought, yeah, we'll have a copy of that. And while we're about it, we might as well have the sequel. So this is another colleague of mine that has infected me with his enthusiasm for these movies. First one, The Holy Virgin versus the Evil Dead. Now, I'd read reviews of this before I ordered it, and it sounds amazing. It absolutely sounds amazing. I saw the guy that got me interested in this, and I told him that I'd ordered a copy, and he says, "Oh, I wish you'd have told me. I watched it the other night, and it's absolute shit." So, I don't know what I'm going to make of it. Looking forward to taking a look though. And there were a couple of others on the same page, and I thought, you know what, in for a penny. This one, The Seventh Curse. Again, know nothing about it. It's some mystical sort of kung fu type thing. So looking forward to taking a look at that. Here's another one. Say Milk. Drunken Master. This is supposedly one of Jackie Chan's finest movies. I've heard of it. I even remember seeing it on the video shelf many, many years ago, but never interested me. But the reviews I've read of this say that it's absolutely one of Jackie Chan's best, so I thought we'll have a go at that. Guy, I think you were talking about this one the other week, saying that you absolutely love this. I remember watching this, or part of it, at Pontins. They used to do a cinema club for kids once or twice a week, and this movie was showing, and the screening of this was absolutely rammed out with kids and parents, to the point where I had to stand at the back. I watched probably the first 10-15 minutes, couldn't hear anything of what was going on because of all the kids talking and laughing and joking and this, that and the other. So I thought I'll grab that at some other point. Bugsy Malone. Alan Parker's film. The cast is all kids apparently. The songs are really infectious, so I've heard, and I thought, if Guy likes it, we'll give it a go. This is one I saw many, many years ago, and we saw a clip of it, let's see, about 2 weeks ago. We were watching an old Top of the Pops, and a piece of music came on that charted, and I remember saying to Rob, I don't remember this, and he says, it's the theme to a film. Is it really? And then the main part of the tune came on, and I thought, oh, I know what that is, it's Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. And he says, I've never seen it. Right, so ordered a copy of that. Looking forward to having another look at that, because I've not seen it for must be 20-25 years. This one, let's see, I remember seeing this on Channel 4 during its first week in 1982. Absolutely loved it. It's also set in my hometown of Plymouth. Remembrance. If I remember right, this is the story of a group of young sailors on a night out before they sail for wherever. Let's see who's in this, because there's quite a few stars. Gary Oldman is in this, Timothy Spall, John Altman, Nasty Nick Cotton. I can't wait to have a look at this. I haven't seen this, must be since 1982, because it was never released on DVD. There's nothing on VHS. I don't recall it ever being shown on TV again. So looking forward to getting to grips with that one. And finally, a steelbook. I've got a steelbook, Dave Lowe, Soldier Blue. I've been waiting for this for ages, to the effect that I've not even got it out of the cellophane yet. I'm hoping this is the uncut version, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it on 4K in all its colourful glory. It's one of the nastiest, most vile films I think I've ever seen. The only way to describe this is, for the first hour and 45 minutes, it's a standard, slightly savage Western, and then during the last 15-20 minutes it explodes into an orgy of violence, basically because they raid and kill everybody in a Native American village. It is easily one of the most shocking movies I think I've ever seen, and I'm fairly sure it will still shock me now. And this is what, 55 years old, 53, 54 years old. It's a beautiful looking steelbook, really, really nice. I'm looking forward to seeing this and to finding out whether it is completely uncut. So, right, I was going to go for an hour and a half, but I've not got as much to talk about as I thought I had, and it's not gone particularly well. The stammer has defeated me again this week. What I'm going to try to do next week is to get all the notes done during the week. So if there's anything that you want me to talk about, or anything that you want to ask me, anything like that, just sort of put as many posts on as you can during the week, just to give me stuff to talk about. Oh God, this is not going well. Thanks ever so much for joining me, folks. I do really, really appreciate it. As I say, it's not gone as well as I thought it would. But next week it will. I feel sure it will. So take care, everybody. If you've enjoyed the video, which is highly unlikely, please like, subscribe and share and all that sort of things. Thanks ever so much for joining me, folks. Have a brilliant week, and I will talk to you all about the same time next week. Take care. Ta-da.